Hey Freedom Lovers, this is Dr. Peterson Pierre with America's Frontline Doctors, bringing you today's Daily Dose. More than 5,740 American children have been medically mutilated under the guise of gender identity. Some were given puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones, some were subjected to genital surgeries or mastectomies, and others were subjected to all of the above. Most, if not all of them, will suffer lifelong, permanent damage like sterilization and neurocognitive impairment, and American taxpayers footed the bill. That may finally be changing. In March, CMS proposed a rule to remove sex trait modifications, a sanitized term for what it actually is, medical mutilation, as in essential health benefit under the Affordable Care Act. If approved, the rule would stop federal taxpayer funds from being used to subsidize the mutilation of children starting in 2026. It's tragic that this rule even needs to be proposed. Thank you, Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for doing so. The science is clear. Up to 98% of children who experience gender confusion eventually grow out of it. Medical mutilation is not only a barbaric and irreversible response to a temporary condition, it is wholly unnecessary. In fact, puberty blockers may actively prevent children from growing out of it by freezing them in the very discomfort that would otherwise resolve itself. Puberty is not a disease, and blocking it is not a cure. The medical mutilation of children is not just grotesque, it's a violation of basic medical ethics because it is non-consensual. No child can consent to a future they don't comprehend. No child understands what it means to lose the ability to ever have children. Sterility is not a concept that minors can grasp, which is why no state allows elective sterilization procedures like tubal ligations for minors, procedures that can be reversed. Even federal law does not permit sterilization consent from anyone under 21. So why are we pretending child consent is valid when it's labeled gender-affirming care? The trans predators who enable this, whether they are doctors, parents, ideologues, or corporate interests, claim it is necessary to prevent suicide. They engage in emotional blackmail by asking parents, quote, "Do you want a living son or a dead daughter?" End quote. How about a living daughter? This is not just manipulative, it's a straight up lie. There's no credible evidence that children with so-called gender dysphoria are more likely to die by suicide than children with other psychiatric issues. In fact, the Cass Review, which we've covered in detail, the most comprehensive and authoritative review of gender medicine to date, suggests that gender-affirming care might even increase suicidality. The entire justification is false. Even the diagnosis is a lie. Genuine gender dysphoria is rare. What we are witnessing is rapid onset gender dysphoria, a social contagion driven by peer pressure, propaganda, and institutional capture. These children are not mentally ill, they're being influenced. The treatment is not mutilation. The treatment is to remove the propaganda. This should not be a political issue. It is a moral and a medical one. And on this issue, America has been on the wrong side for too long. Even totalitarian governments like the UK have outlawed these procedures for minors. In any sane society, these interventions would not be on the taxpayer's tab. Meanwhile, the Biden administration wasn't just funding them, it was trying to force states to provide them. The CMS rule is a necessary, long overdue step toward ending this evil. Finally, the American people are being heard. Ladies and gentlemen, only the truth will set you free. Stay tuned for the next Daily Dose.